one of the deaths though, like there's like a grenade right at his feet, and like he moved like one step away from it and thought he could survive.
Alright guys, we are back here live on the EIF network, and as you can see we're in a match session, which means that we are going to be getting things underway yet again. Rallick was having some connection issues, but all looks good in the hood right now, so we're going to go ahead and give this a take two. Shout out to Rallick's finisher name. Or his old finisher name, I don't know if that's considered the same one now.
Nah, I'll bring it back next year.
No, now it's called the take three. All the director's cut.
Director's cut. If I use cutter still. Well, hey, at least with the DDT it can be.
No, you're using the big punch. Can that be the box office bust?
You guys can see, though, as the last match had happened, it did load in fairly fast. You guys are probably noticing about the same here. So we're hoping for good things. And the match was off to a fairly good start in that opening minute or so. And then just didn't take too long for the connection to settle in and disconnect our world champion, but he's hoping that that will not happen this time. He wants to show that he has the ability to win, and unlike WWE, Money in the Bank's actually, a fun fact for you guys, really aren't as successful in EIF. In fact, I think the Money in the Bank, and this is a number off the top of my head, but we've had a number of Money in the Bank cash-ins, and I think they're about 60%. 60, maybe 65% successful, which, I mean, yes, you can say that would still favor Brutality on a statistical basis, but if you look at WWE, there's only one that didn't work. And that technically was all the DQ, so I mean, John Cena, right? What's the other one? Oh yeah, Sandow, my bad, take it back, too. But either way, I'd still believe WWE's is well above, what, around 80%, I would think, 80 to 90%. So, either way, EIF is far less, and Rallick is going to hope that that will help, and Brutality disconnected. So, alright, Brutality disconnected. We are remaking it again, guys. This is not looking good. Oh, man.
I was wondering why he was moving to the other corner.
Alright, well, you're just tuning in. You didn't miss anything.
Alright, time to see if Brew can beat Network Error. Come on, Brew.
What if it disconnects again?
I'll call it off. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this one more try for tonight. Alright guys, Brutality is having some server issues, so we're going to give him an additional minute or two. Guys, we do want to let you know that we have an answer to your question if maybe any of you are thinking, okay, what is going to happen, a what if? And we are going to provide you with the answer to that what if scenario. But we're going to go ahead and try with the plan A right now, which is to get this world title match done. As you can probably see, I just network errored myself, so let's go ahead and hope that this will come back up. This could be a combination of our connections, although myself, Brew, and Rallick have been involved in numerous matches together. I don't see why today they would decide for it not to work, but either way, we're going to go ahead and try our best.
Should I crash? Oh, never mind, it's back up.
It's not Sunday. Why is everything going wrong now?
Is your service back up?
Yeah, mine's up. Party die?
Alright, so we are getting set. As you guys saw, I just had to back out to the start menu. Mine are back up, so are Brutalities and Ratlocks. We'll go ahead and start this yet again. Oh, I do want to let everybody know one more thing. If this is the last broadcast we do before September to Remember on Tuesday, there will be no pre-show for September to Remember. I do believe I mentioned this on one of our previous broadcasts, but that might have been SummerSlam where I mentioned it, which, if any of you watched that, you'll also know that night did not feature a pre-show. And I want to let everybody know this doesn't mean we're done with the pre-show. We want to give you guys more content. With the way September to Remember is working, because it's during a weekday due to the tradition of always being held on September the 1st, behind the scenes and off the cameras and commentary of EIF, I'm just a regular everyday college student, so unfortunately Tuesday actually conflicts a little bit with my schedule. Not so much that I would have to cancel EIF September to Remember. I'll be able to to do that full-fledged. Just I won't be able to have an hour of time to do a pre-show. And for those of you that are wondering, if you are, we just chose not to do the pre-show for SummerSlam because that was a 12-hour event. Granted, it was broken up into a few different sections due to connectivity issues. But aside from that, guys, we will plan, or at least currently, unless something unforeseen happens, we do plan to bring the pre-shows back beginning at EIF's Bonafide Fights pay-per-view. It is in September, but not until later on in the end of the month, which is Saturday, September the 26th. For those of you that are curious, as we are now down to just 3 2K15 pay-per-views left. September to remember, Bonafide Fights, and Fight the Fate. And we only have 5 left in the calendar year of 2015, 2 of which will be on 2K16. All right, let's see. We're in the match. Both gamer tags are above the heads. I think we're all good in the hood. Let's get Ratluck's target on Brew. Brew's target on Rat. And here we go. Ding, ding, ding. And yet again, our Undisputed World Championship match is underway. Ratluck with a zigzag as he punches in the first move in this match. Ratluck is trying to prevent fate. Brutality is trying to chase destiny. In this Undisputed World Championship match here live on the EIF Network. Brutality with an enziguri to Ratluck. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, prior to the first stoppage on the broadcast, I mean, you look at this Undisputed World Championship and what these guys are competing for, it's so much more than just another title match. Brutality is in a historic run right now to look to win his 12th ever Undisputed World Championship match and be the only person to do so. But not only just that, or the Undisputed World title, I should mention, not championship match, but the championship itself. But, I mean, you look at some of the greats. This league has been around for over 8.5 years. Legends from back in the day. Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, past, present, and future superstars will all have came or come already in contact with this championship. It is perhaps the biggest landmark in this league's entirety. Bigger than the BFG that Ratluck won to earn the anytime title shot he used to win his world championship reign he's currently holding. Bigger than the money in the bank that Brutality got at SummerSlam after letting his best friend get it at WrestleMania. It's bigger than both of these superstars, their whole careers. It's the Undisputed World Championship. It's the one item, the one entity that nothing or nobody, no one can take away from this league. And of course these two superstars are going at it for the top prize. Brutality's enziguri, well, he got Ratluck with it earlier, not this time. Ratluck's roundhouse kick is to no prevail, and Brutality's throwback, well, he's looking to throw him back into the time where he was world champion, and he's getting closer and closer to that in a dominating match right now. Brutality has just doubled up Ratluck on momentum. From the middle rope yet again. It worked for him last time, it works for him this time. Axe handle to the back of the neck. When Ratluck used an anytime title shot on Deathlock recently, it was out of nowhere, it was sudden, and Deathlock was not prepared. Ratluck could be encountering the same instance right here tonight. Forearm to the face, though, as he looks to stop it. Drop kick is reversed. Brutality has a finisher in hand. Springboard leg drop. It did not connect. Here's Ratluck. Clothesline. Brutality ducks underneath him. Brutality throwback connects. What is Brutality thinking now? What is the champ, or I should say the challenger, maybe champ, who knows? We might be finding out in a matter of moments. Ratluck with a Russian leg sweep reversal. He's got Brew in position to go to the turnbuckles. He chooses otherwise. Ratluck with a leg lariat. It's reversed. Brutality, ground grapple reversal for Ratluck. Looks for the drop kick. This is Brutality's opportunity. No. Roundhouse kick he attempts. Ratluck DDT reversed. At this point, you got to wonder if you're Mr. Money in the Bank. Maybe you want to wait and get that second finisher stored up as a cushion. Ratluck using one of 3 ring escapes. Famouser from Brutality. Ratluck stomped on the leg. He avoids that. The two cancel each other out. Ratluck with a single leg lariat, his first move he got in quite some time here, and it was much needed. Ratluck picks Brutality up after he gets on all fours on his own. Roundhouse kick is reversed. Brutality! Finisher! Finisher! Kick to the face. It looked like a chick kick, although it's, I don't know, whatever. Either way, 2. Ratlock kicks out. Well, it's not exactly a common move in EIF. Brutality, I think that's the first time I've ever seen Brutality that, but you can see he is getting fired up now. Ratlock was able to avoid fate once. Don't forget, guys, you go back to that whole Battle for Glory All-Stars tournament we brought up that Ratlock won earlier this year. By the way, the only guy that's won it other than him is the man he's facing right now. Ratlock had one match in particular against Legend Killer DDV in that preliminary round in which Ratlock kicked out of 3 finishers and was able to win the match. So Brutality may have to put this guy down for the count, and you have to wonder how much it's going to take out of Brutality to get that. And we don't know, though. Anything could happen. Brutality having a finisher is already something that would have to scare Ratlock. Ratlock has not used the taunt yet, but he is 1% away from being able to get a signature finisher. Ratlock makes movement. Brutality is trying to make contact. Ground grapple reverse. It was a finisher. Brutality tried to trick Ratlock with a finisher, and now Ratlock reversed. Brutality with a second taunt. And Ratlock with his second ring escape, I should mention. Ratlock has a finisher, and he's 12% away from another finisher. He has a signature if he chooses to do so. Stomp. Reverse. Leg lariat. No. Ratlock. No. Back body drop for Brutality. These two just continuing to cancel each other out, or at least attempt to. Brutality. Now he's the one that has to climb back. 3. That taunt gets you one hell of a power-up. And Brutality at 110. Brutality might be able to get that finisher before Ratlock can obtain his second. Smart move from the challenger, understanding a free move would have been instituted if Ratlock had made or not made movement upon the first attempt at the move from Brutality. But Ratlock has 2 finishers. Ground grapple reversal from Brew. It's not a finisher like the one he did, but Brutality with his 4th taunt. 130, that's an 8% bump. That's a pretty good bump. And that is 5, and that's going to do it. Brutality has a finisher in hand. Ratlock has 2. Ratlock has got to make the first move here. Ratlock got it! No! Finisher! Ratlock went for the finisher, and Brutality's was faster. No! Not this way! Hooks the leg. Brutality chasing history, 2! Brutality wins! Brutality is a 12-time undisputed world champion. Nobody in the 8.5-year league history has been able to do what he has done tonight. Brutality is once again, for the first time in over 5 months, EIF undisputed world champion in a hell of a match. Got to give credit to Ratlock. He had 2 finishers in hand, and you had to know he had to make the first move. Brutality just, I mean, what a match that was, guys. And you have to admit, give some credit, guys, where credit is due. Brutality, a pretty fair and respectable Mr. Money in the Bank, at least choosing to do it in a full capacity match, giving Ratlock the opportunity to defend himself at all times as opposed to doing a cheaper tactic such as waiting towards the end of a match. We thought that he might have been doing that last night, and who's to say he wasn't going to had it not been for the help of Hybrid Maniac. But with that, Brutality is going into September to remember as the undisputed world champion. I should mention, everybody, that Ratlock has 1 anytime title shot left, and he could end up using that beforehand, before September to remember, in which case he does. I will make sure we stream it here. But other than that, guys, a historic night. August 27th, 2015. It's a night that we will not soon forget, because tonight was the night that Brutality became a 12-time undisputed world champion, passing both Raymond and Anthony, leaving them in a tie for second. He is the lone man atop the mountain today and throughout the history of EIF. Thank you for tuning in and what was a very special night here on the EIF Network. We want to remind you one last time to follow us here on Twitch as well as Twitter using @EIF Network for more information on how to join the league and roster info and more. Visit www.leaguelineup.com/EIF lives. And if you want to take your dedication to the next level here with us, make sure you donate on PayPal. We will use your funds to help increase the productivity of EIF. This will help for potential tech equipment, superstar help, and of course giveaways that we can use throughout the upcoming streams and broadcasts. And speaking of that, I leave you with this. do not forget, if you want to see the aftermath of this and so much more, not only can you return to our past broadcast page after we get off here, but we want to remind you about our upcoming broadcast. It's a big one, a pay-per-view, and it's not on a Saturday. It's the first pay-per-view to be broadcasted on a Tuesday night, guys. So we want to let you know that, and that is Tuesday, September 1st. It is the 9th annual September to Remember EIF pay-per-view event. Brutality will defend his championship. The undisputed Superstar champion Frost will be defending as well, and so much more. It's this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and guys, it's not a pre-show to start off, so you want to get there right there and then, because we're going to kick it off and we're going to have matches going from start to finish. So make sure you're there. Thank you for tuning in tonight here at the EIF Network, and one last time, Brutality is the new undisputed world champion for the 12th time in his career. Good night, everyone.